tells you, they're like, oh yeah, biological subpenis for you, you're gonna be like, that's fine. Like, for me, it's like, if you were like, it's, sexually, maybe that's off the table, but like, you're not gonna fucking chastise them or anything like that. You're gonna treat her with respect. And that's where you're still gonna view her as a woman, though, correct?
I'll be honest, I could only speculate because I don't think I haven't like personally been in the company of any trans women that I know of, or trans
You've seen
men.
Skylin, and you've talked with Skylin.
Yeah, but back when they were Skylar.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Skylin hasn't gone through any of the...
They're going through hormones.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
But even then, it's
I
like...
gotta get her back on. We gotta have a conversation.
Yeah, I feel like
the thing is, I would support, if she wants to say she's a woman, like, I totally support that. I'm cool with that. I have no skin in, I don't care. Like, that does, you want to say that you're a dolphin, I don't care. That doesn't, like, that's a wild exaggeration. But, like, if someone comes up to me and says, hey, I'm, if, like, they're a furry and they say, hey, I'm a dog, I'm a German Shepherd, actually, I'd be like, okay, cool for you. Like, that, why would I care? That doesn't affect my life at all.
Yeah, but it's like, you have to be able to respect and address them as such thing as they identify with. And when it comes to being trans, and with Skylin, for example, or use her as an example, but like, Skylin is a woman. Skylin is a woman.
I have selective concerns, I would say. If she wants to be called a she, if she wants to, me to use certain pronouns, like, okay, I'll do my best. I'm not going to purposely misgender them for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a good argument to be made, like, with sports. If she wanted to go compete in female sports, I would probably have a problem with that. Because we separate genders for a reason. Like, if I said I was a woman and went into women's Olympic lifting, I'm gonna beat a lot of the women. If I go into women's softball, I'm gonna fuck up some softball for sure. I think that's, like, we separated genders for a reason. Not saying that they should have to go play in the men's. Maybe we create a new category like we did with men and women, like we separated them. But I think there are distinctions.
Well, the thing is, those are fine if you do. That's actually a pretty big conversation when it comes to, like, the Olympics.
It's a big one right now.
However, fun counter argument that I don't know if you read up on this or not, but that people have been disqualified from the Olympics due to the fact that specifically women who have had too much testosterone.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's where it kind of, like, these women identify as women, and they're not trans. They're like 100% not trans. They are just biologically women, identify as women, and they just have more testosterone than other women, and therefore they're built as significantly more muscular and all these things. And it's like, that's where I feel like shit gets sticky, because it's like, then you're looking at this weird area where it's like, okay, now you're looking at people's normal amount of, because testosterone and estrogen specifically varies in person to person. Like, you have more testosterone in one person than you could in another person, and that's just naturally biologically how we work. Yeah. So it's like, you have this, like, in men obviously have more testosterone than women who have more estrogen and things like that. However, it gets kind of weird because it's like, well, there are people who produce the opposite more than they do produce the other one, or they have a little bit more in comparison to the average of such gender that produces, like, the usual amount that they do. So it's kind of, like, weird when it comes to using that, because it's like, even then, that's a whole discussion, and that I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, I understand why people, like, physically are concerned when it comes to, like, biologically how they're built and they're set up, genetically and things like that. But I'm like, in the end of the day, it's like, yeah, they're still a woman. They're still a man.
I think if you supplement, that's when it becomes, because if I start taking testosterone, I can't go compete in these sports, because there's an unfair advantage when testosterone is involved, and especially if you're supplementing with testosterone. So I think those women that, have higher levels, I think they should be able to compete, because they're not supplementing with anything. But if you start, if you were transitioning to male and you're taking testosterone, that's going to have a crazy effect on your body. And I don't think that you should be able to compete with women who aren't, because it's an unfair advantage. It's like cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unfortunately, that's if I take testosterone and go play in a pickup basketball league, I'm kind of cheating, because well, maybe not basketball because there's a lot more skill involved in that, but powerlifting, you have an advantage. You have testosterone is a huge advantage.
Mm-hmm. I have a way to address this.
Oh,
and
say
I'm
it.
trying to think it out thoroughly enough.
You can just start talking and see where it goes. That's my MO. That's what I do. Not, that's what I do
fair.
all the time. I
That's
just
fair.
start talking and hope that it's coherent when it comes out.
It's like I'm trying to express this correctly. So it's like, however, okay, we take out putting a gender on people. You just have like a line of people. You got like 10 people, right? So within these people, you have like people who are in the Olympics obviously have like probably more testosterone in general.
Oh, guaranteed. Michael Phelps is shredded.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously Michael Phelps and fucking, what is her name? Simone
Biles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's a beast.
Definitely fucking has more testosterone.
She's gonna smoke me even if I'm taking testosterone.
Yeah,
she's gonna
like,
smoke my ass.
they're both just gonna fuck me up. So it's like, but you're looking at like a line of people, who naturally produce more testosterone than the normal population. But
naturally, I think is the key word.
Yeah, but then it's like, okay, why is there's a stigma though for like men transgender men taking estrogen though, and people are.
That's a problem too.
Okay.
Well, that's what transgender men would be female to male.
Female to male.
Okay.
That are okay with transgender men going and competing in men Olympics though, and that's where it's like it gets whack, because they're like, okay, like that's what I'm saying. Trans women specifically have it rough. Like there's just so much more conversation and stigmatizing and all these things towards like transgender women when it comes to these things, and there is still stigma when it comes to like transgender men, don't get me wrong, but like, oh, what is her name? She just won the Olympic thing, and then people were trying to shit on her for smoking marijuana at one point.
Oh, the runner.
Yeah.
Sha'Carri Richardson?
I don't remember.
Sha'Carri. I think her first name's Sha'Carri.
I just remember I liked her nails a lot. But, like, I
got
remember...
blonde hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then people were like,
Sha'Carri.
You can't smoke weed, and she's like, my mom fucking died. And the people were
Let me
like...
smoke some weed.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, me too. Like, that's why I didn't shit on her. Like, dude, I fucking... Your mom fucking died, and you're still out here in the Olympics? Like, kudos to you. I would not be at the Olympics if my mom died. So it's, like, things like that where I'm like... I don't know though, because I just feel like with the range of people who go and try to compete and get to where they are, it's just whack to me, because there's like the natural people who have more testosterone, rather they identify or they match biologically, I suppose, to their genitalia in their identity. It's like, it's just like, it's very weird to me. It's very hard to answer the question.
I think it ties back into the idea of natural though. Like, there are women who guaranteed probably have higher testosterone than I do, but if they started supplementing with testosterone, they wouldn't be able to compete. And if Michael Phelps started taking testosterone, he wouldn't be able to compete, because you're adding in more than what was already there. And so you're supplementing with this thing that's almost like magic pill that's going to make you better. It's like a cheat. Like a cheat in a video. Yeah, it's like a cheat in a video game. Like, well, okay, well then we're not playing on the same field, because if I'm playing this game and you're playing this game, and you might have more hours, but that's because you dedicated more time to it, you trained harder, but then I start using cheats, it's an unfair advantage. Yeah,
I don't know the science too much behind testosterone. I do know that it can help build your physical physique. I'm not sure about how much study's been proven on this or not.
Oh, it's a lot. Testosterone is
very crucial, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then it's a very hard discussion to have, because, then you have people who are like...
That's why I think we should make a third league, or have a third subcategory. I do think that if you're a trans man, so female to male, and you want to compete in male sports, sure. Because I don't think the advantage I don't think the advantage works quite the same because you haven't had testosterone for a majority of your life, right? So if you're developing with testosterone, your build is going to be significantly different than if you're female and you introduce it.
But if you're taking testosterone, you're working out.
You're
That's
gonna have
just like
changes.
you're
You're
gonna
gonna have
have some.
changes.
You're gonna get buff as fuck.
But
Probably if
I
you're working
think
out like an Olympian.
I think, and I could be off basis here, that you will never reach the same level as if you were just born a male.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because your testosterone, it's not. I mean, your body undergoes so many different changes depending on the hormones that are in utero, and as a child, as you're developing, your body adapts, and you can still experience some of these changes as an adult or as a young teen, and you go on these hormone replacement therapies. But I don't think it's quite. I don't think it has quite the effect that it would if it was in utero. Like
I have no
idea.
I do not know.
I think I could be completely off basis, and someone could definitely say something.
I have not researched hormones at all.
It's just a tricky subject.
We should have another moment where we just bring Skyline
she's got to come in, yeah.
If she's okay with it and she's willing to openly discuss it and she's okay like talking about it and things like that, because I know some like you gotta pay tribute to the people who educate you.